In front of me here I have all the knobs and buttons that I've removed from a Tascam 44 Mark III that I'm refurbishing. Clearly these have been subjected to some sunlight because they've gone all kind of yellow. I think that's probably clearest. Look how yellow it is on the front, and that's the original colour of the plastic. I've been aware for a while of a process that's called retrobriting. I suppose in Amiga, Commodore communities, like I watch a lot of nerdy stuff about making what were originally pale grey. Anyway, quite bright plastic. It goes yellow with age and then people restore it back to the way it looked by putting peroxide on it. I've seen people paint the peroxide on and use a UV lamp. I'm going to submerge these in the peroxide, which I've also heard of, and just leave it in sunlight, like leave it in a windowsill. Here's the peroxide. There were options for 6% proof as well. I just went for 12%. Thought, to heck with it, just nuke it, see how we get on. In my head it makes sense to submerge these, so I've taken some of the plastic parts out. I'll get another tub and do the same thing with the likes of all these. But I'm just going to pour in enough of the stuff to cover. Put the lid on that. Stir it a little bit so everything's got the peroxide on it. I'll do the same with another box with all this stuff in it. And if I lift up this blind, it's actually pretty sunny here today. I'll just leave it in a windowsill like that. Come back to it every day or so and see how we're getting on. It's about 3 days since I shot the first bit of footage, and all these knobs in this container are looking pretty much ready. These ones, you can see the pitch control's a lot less yellow. The top surface of these transport buttons and these record arm buttons and so on still got a little bit of yellowing to them. I think that's because this is floating, so they weren't quite submerged. Also, the lid of this is more opaque, less transparent. So what I might do is drain the peroxide from this using a sieve into there so it's completely submerged, and then transfer it to this one which has a clearer lid, and leave that in the windowsill for a day longer. It is quite bright and sunny in Scotland at the moment. That's not always the case with the weather here. I suppose the results you get here are dependent partly on the weather. Pretty pleased that this has worked. The only caveat I would give to you in trying to reproduce this is that the peroxide does leave a sort of mild chemical burn. Like, I ended up getting a little bit of it on my skin here. It was kind of white in colour. It was unpleasant. I wouldn't say it was painful. I mean, it was a bit sore. It took about 24 hours for the symptoms to subside. So I think probably what I should have been doing, and should still be doing, is maybe using the sort of gloves that a tattooer would use, or, you know, when you're dyeing your own hair or something. And maybe if you've got clear plastic bags, put these boxes full of peroxide in clear plastic bags so the sunlight can still get in, but you're less likely for the liquid to get out and get on your skin. And to close out the video, I thought I'd just show you what it looks like installed. These have all been treated now, and just for comparison, I've got some untreated ones over here. I think these are about as yellow as these were to begin with. You know, that's what the grey one looks like. Here's what the green one looked like before. Here's what the purple one looked like before. The blue, dropping them all off the floor now, doesn't matter. The pink one. So you can see there is a little bit of fading to the coloured plastic as well, but I think when you balance that against the less tobacco stained look of these things, it's worth it. These buttons cleared up nicely. I mean, there, for comparison, is a button set which I don't think is actually quite as yellow as these ones originally were. So it does make quite a big difference to the overall look of this. Hope you found that useful and interesting. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.